Now, Heidi, I know in the news and on Instagram, I've been seeing a lot about the hyaluronic pen. Hyaluronic pen.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what your views are on it?
So basically, the hyaluronic pen is considered the needleless injections for the face with hyaluronic acid. This pen was actually created for diabetics. It was created because, diabetics that are insulin dependent, they really have a hard time with the needles and stuff. So it's a sharp object. It's not a needle, but it is a sharp. So it does go through the skin, and it was created to deliver their insulin without so much pain. Somebody thought about the bright idea of delivering fillers with the hyaluronic pen, as they call it now. And this is pretty much not safe because, one, it's not being used by medical professionals. It's being used by people who are estheticians, and nothing wrong with estheticians, but if you don't have the anatomy base and you don't have the physiology and you don't know how the human body works, you have no business injecting things in people's faces. You don't have the liability. You do not know what to do if the patient has a complication, so you should not be injecting patients. And once something crosses the skin, that barrier, you're injecting something. You're putting something inside, and that something is not controlled because it all depends on how much pressure the person using the pen has. So if it's somebody that has a lot of pressure, this material can end up in a blood vessel. It can cause skin necrosis if it ends up in a blood vessel, because that person is not going to have the antidote or the Hylenex to kind of reverse it. You can have an infection. There's numerous things that happen. Apart from that, the material being used, the hyaluronic acid being used in this pen, is not FDA regulated. It's just ordered online, just how you would order something from Amazon. When you are using things in a person's body that is not FDA regulated, there's not really a lot of research being done on that, so you really don't know exactly what the material has, and not all hyaluronic acid is created equal. That's why we have some hyaluronic acids that are placed on top of the skin in the form of creams or in the form of serums, and we have some that are injected from a sterile syringe as injections. And the providers injecting these things have a license. We have a good understanding of the anatomy, and we also are prepared and equipped with the proper solution in case the patient has a reaction, which any patient can have an adverse event. It's just having somebody there to kind of back the patient up and to have everything ready in case they do.
Right. I can understand that. So it's not about who has the most Instagram likes. It's really about who has the most knowledge when you're picking an injector.
It really doesn't even have to do with that. There's a lot of injectors that have been injecting for 10 years, and they have a lot of knowledge, and they're good injectors. There's a lot of new injectors that have acquired a lot of knowledge, and they're good injectors. It's just doing it with somebody that you feel comfortable. The person you have a right to ask for lot numbers, to say, hey, where did you get this? Is this from this country? What company do you use? You have a right to know everything that's happening with your healthcare. And this, even though it's a cosmetic treatment, I consider it to be a medical procedure. I don't know how many people categorize it, but getting injectables is a medical procedure. So you should, just like you want to make sure that that vaccine that you're getting for COVID is not expired, you also want to make sure that the injectables being put in your face are FDA approved, and that the injector doing it has a protocol and has whatever it is necessary, and that nothing is expired in case you have a reaction, an emergency, something can always go wrong. You can have the best surgeon do your tummy tuck, liposuction, remove your tonsils, and you can have an adverse event. Now, what differentiates that surgeon from other doctors is how good is that person at treating me if I have an adverse event. Do I trust them? So that's basically what you want for an injector. Anybody can have followers. Anybody can have likes.
Yeah.
This isn't a popularity contest. When you're picking somebody to, to stuff
inject
in your
you.
face.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Now, speaking of COVID-19, it has swept the nation right now. Tell me a little bit about them. Seeing that injectors are saying, watch out when you're getting the vaccine and when you're getting your injections.
So they haven't said anything really about Botox.
Yeah.
They have said that fillers can swell after getting your COVID vaccination. So what happens is that anything that can trigger an immune response can cause fillers to swell, especially when you get fillers around the eyes, because that area is very delicate. If you get the common colds, you can have swelling of facial fillers. What I'm doing is, if I have a patient that is planning to get their vaccine, I schedule them a month apart just to make sure that there's enough time for their immune system to kind of receive the vaccine, and that everything is okay before getting facial fillers, and that they're to prevent a reaction. But anybody can have fillers and have a cold, and they can swell.
Now, Heidi, I want to do something fun with you. I know a lot of male patients are now coming over to do cosmetic surgeries and injections with called Brotox, with derma fillers and Botox. So can you tell us a little bit about what male patients might need, where they might get injected at, things of that nature?
Oh my God. My favorite are male patients. They're happy with anything you do to them. They're the best, and it's good because once they have that barber that they really like they would never cheat on their barber. They'll cheat on their wife or whatever, but they won't cheat on their injector either. So they come every 3 months. When I have patients for Botox, male patients, they will come every 3 months religiously, and they'll do their microneedling to help stimulate collagen. Some men like to do the jawline and to look a little bit more masculine, and that looks good too. But my favorite for men is definitely Botox and microneedling, because I feel like it helps prevent the aging, and they do have stronger muscles than we do, so they tend to get more lines. So I think that's a very good treatment for them.
Okay, perfect. And what about women? What are the most areas that women like to get done?
Women, I mean, before it was fillers, and now we're kind of evolving. We're doing a lot of microneedling with radio frequency for the skin tightening. We're doing a lot of PRP cocktails mixed with Botox and to help out the skin. We're kind of now, we're doing a lot of lips in women. I absolutely love dissolving lips and starting over, because now I think we're kind of wanting to look more natural. We're just kind of wanting to look like ourselves. We're no longer wanting to look like a Kardashian, which is awesome because I really like that.
Yeah. Yes, no, I can definitely understand. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'd love for us to sit down and talk. It's been awesome to speak more about the aesthetic industry and the kind of benefits that they have to offer. I know new grads are going to be watching this. Maybe even aesthetic injectors that watch this will gain some experience from you, Heidi, and learn more about what they should do in their next steps. So tell everybody, where can they find you?
On Instagram, I work in 3 different places. If you're a new injector and you kind of want to know how to get into this industry, don't be shy. You can DM me. I always answer my DMs. If you want to shadow, if there's anything that you guys need, if you have a complication and you need my help, I'm here.
Well, thank you so much, Heidi. Everybody follow her. I'm going to put her link at the bottom. And we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.